Good afternoon and welcome to the Day After Podcast and our sub-show Too Many KUBRICKS, where we watch and discuss every Kubrick film in chronological order. In episode 2 here, we're watching and discussing the the boxer noir film Killer's Kiss, released in 1955.
55, okay.
55.
All right.
Is this a noir?
Yeah, this is a noir.
That's what I think of when I think of standard noir. This is about a boxer who's kind of down on his luck, and he falls in love with a woman who is in with the wrong crowd. And I think that if there were good noirs that came out in my lifetime, I would be more into them.
There's a lot of good film noir,
like crime. It's very similar to crime in that it's been saturated by the bad stuff, but there are good things here. This is going to be shorter than than Fear and Desire because it's no longer objectively bad. A little wonky, but
yeah,
it's coherent.
This is just significantly better than Fear and Desire in almost any metric that you can come up with the possible maybe exception of soundtrack.
Okay, guys, let me just out of the way. We both came to the conclusion that 50s soundtracks need to cool their jets just a little bit.
How am I supposed to know how to feel, Johnny?
If I'm not hearing but it's so weird that Stanley's tackling because I believe one of his first actual documentaries was about boxing.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I believe. I'm going to look it up while during our next point, but this opens with opens-ish with a really fairly extensive boxing match that you see almost in real time.
I wonder if this. I don't think that this fully came to fruition as the movie was finished, but it feels like to me that this movie, like the germination of this movie, started with two images: a boxing match and a dancer. There's three really pivotal scenes in this movie, and that's the boxing match, a flashback of a ballerina, and then a fight scene in a mannequin warehouse.
So I'm not gonna say that Stanley was the first person to do this. I was thinking about a fun fact that I know, that the movies the Black Swan and The Wrestler were originally the same movie. It was about a wrestler that falls in love with a ballet dancer.
And there is a related thing to it. Both are this athletic performance of the body,
and it's very much a dance because you have to stay very light on your feet, like the woman is.
Yes. Okay. And I think that I could be wrong, but I think in the boxing scene, that swishing noise, I think that was their feet on the mat.
It might be, actually. Yeah. There's a. You can go ahead.
And it's just there was constant movement, and it's a really beautifully shot boxing match. And I wish that if that was the intention, I wish that there was more of a contrast, that we got to see more of the dancer in the female character that's supposed to be the foil to the boxer. She's just basically the dame that
the dame with I guess attempts at parallels that don't really pan out or go anywhere.
Not really, no, not. But like John said, boxer falls in love with dancing girl who has a relationship with a gangster, tries to get away from the gangster. Gangster tries to kill her.
It's well shot, but that's saying nothing. If you open the TV tropes page for this, every TV tropes page has a picture and then a quote underneath. So the picture is the one where his friend at the training facility is getting mugged, and they're walking down the alleyway towards him.
That is a nice shot.
And the text says, "This whole movie looks like this."
Yeah,
it's very good.
That's a very beautifully composed shot, and I think that he's still a photographer.
Yes, he's still good at composing shots, but he allows them to stay. He's beginning to learn that you can linger.
Yes, that's definitely true.
Yeah,
there's a lot of lingering in this movie, and I'm not sure if the soundtrack is trying to make the lingering less obvious, or is it making the lingering worse because you have to stay with the fucking soundtrack.
Yeah, if you're staying here, when you're not being visually stimulated, you're thinking about it's a mess. And here's where I say a good thing. It's a cool story with the fact that my dad wanted my sister to date this rich guy, but he said no because then she'd make me give up dancing. Then Dad got sick, and then I gave up dancing, and then he died, and then I started dancing again. And I don't know. And I'm just bitching about plight of the individual because we don't really get a lot about him and his like boxing backstory. The fact that he is a boxer doesn't really come up at all.
Yes, you're right. Their backstories seem more rich than these 2 days of this plot, which is really rushed. And at first I thought there was a way out with its kind of clumsy sentimentality when we're like, oh, she's a femme fatale and she's just using him to just get away from the gangster.
No, yeah.
But no, it turns out, no, she kind of did like him, and it ends with this.
The end sucks. The end blows.
Reunion at the train station. No, I got you before you left. Oh, kiss me.
And no build-up. Well, no, maybe build-up, but no denouement, no falling action. Just we're done.
Yeah, and it's kind of, kind of too sentimental for a noir in that respect.
Too sentimental.
No, yeah, noir is that's sissy shit. There is one scene I wanted to talk about, and this is very strange but very memorable, at least for me. Fight scene at the end where the gangster and the boxer have this prolonged fight, hissy fit
with axes among mannequins.
Yeah, there's this chase scene that leads into a warehouse filled with mannequins. And, okay, yes, you can criticize it for blunt symbolism because they're fighting over a dame. And they're surrounded by naked titties.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I feel like you're getting to another point, though.
But it's just, it's Kubrick, I think this is him starting to show he's learning. This is a really surreal looking shot. This is a really surreal looking scene
of them amongst the
and he'll frequently cut to just the jiggling of heads.
Oh, there was one shot they keep cutting to. It's two prop heads, and on the banister slightly above them are four dangling hands. They're reaching out. It's creepy. I don't know what they're going for.
I guess it's weird, but it's my favorite part of the movie.
It's a weird, prolonged, like quiet fight scene. Let me ask you a question: Is that a good chase scene previously? Where he's far ahead, but he's trying to grab a door to get back down and get away from these people, and he's checking every door, and then cut to them trying to check every door, and then it's just we're slowly running, trying to keep up with him. Like it's not a cheetah's pace; it's more like a wolf's pace. Like it's slower, but we don't stop.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. And it does make sense why they catch up because he can't find any open doors. And I think this is another thing about where the chase scene in this movie is another excuse for the photographer to come out and to film these gorgeous skyline shots of the Brooklyn Bridge and the harbors.
Oh, you could tell he shot on location.
And you do get to see these really beautiful shots of New York in black and white at night. I just that's not a perk of the movie. It's just I've seen a lot of movies that like in the 50s where a city at night in black and white. It just looks gorgeous. It's an easy plus.
Yeah, but I guess we've been watching older, 80s-ish movies recently where they take place on a set because of course they do because of reasons. We just got done watching Legend last night, but that's neither here nor there. But I was like a little like set aback because there's like a scene where you are watching an unsped up sunset in real time, and you're noticing the sun go down.
That was nice.
It was really nice.
I did like that.
It was really nice. I don't have a ton else to say about.
I think that is the problem. The major problem with this movie is there's some interesting bits, but overall it's kind of meh.
We're gonna talk longer about Fear and Desire because that blew, and we like smashing on it.
Fear and Desire is like it's a teenager tripping over his own dick.
This is
a person learning the craft.
But he had all these good ideas and he did that thing. Well, no, I was gonna say he did that thing where he put all his ideas in one, but that's not what he did there. He focused very cleanly on a clean story without a ton of metaphor.
Yeah,
because you could have really gone into the dancing and boxing as a metaphor, and you just don't.
Okay, yeah.
I think
there could be a much artsier version of this movie where they go headlong into the he's a boxer, she's a dancer. Let me do all the visual comparisons.
Do, and it's the separate movies, The Wrestler and Black Swan.
Okay, yeah.
Both really good movies, but I don't know. There's something to be said for deciding not to jump in that pool.
Yeah. And I think this is Kubrick more not trying to figure out how to do visual poetry and more trying to figure out how to tell a story plainly through film. It gets a little lazy with all the flashbacks and the
flashbacks were okay. The
flashbacks within flashbacks within flashbacks.
So the it all started an hour ago. Okay, just put that in a neat order. And I guess is it to put ourselves in the same place as storytelling, because for example, in the same as we the audience are experiencing the story through the audience surrogate of the main character boxer, It continues through things like let me just show you this footage of an actual ballet that was recorded by a B unit team, as I'm telling you what happened to my sister and my dad.
Yeah,
it is deliberately clumsy in exchange for being on that ride with Boxer Man. Davey is his name. Okay,
which would actually, if in Frame Tale, that foray into the ballerina doesn't make sense because this is his Frame Tale, and he wouldn't have seen the ballerina. But anyway,
no, but that's something you want to look at, and I think that if Stanley's into boxing, I guarantee you he's into dance. Like, not super into dance, but I said earlier at the top that his first short was about boxing. Yeah, it's the 1951 documentary short, The Day of the Fight.
Oh, okay.
It's only about 12 minutes long, so I like that he took that 4 years later and said, I want to make, can I expand on that, like in a fictional sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that he saw that there was merit here, because this is one of those, don't watch it just to say you watched it. Actually watch it, because it's really good. Don't do what you did with Fear and Desire, which is watch it just for Kubrick cred. I mean, I wouldn't put this on repeat, but it's actually serviceable. It's no longer.
Yeah, I think I'm still gonna say this is only for Kubrick purists.
I didn't want to be that shitty guy, but he has 3 movies, and then we get to Paths of Glory, which is where I think his career really started. But these are weird ones where he's not a big name in the business right now so far.
Kubrick is learning.
It's like an otter who starts out grabbing toys, and by the end he's doing differential equations on the board. Oh, he's gonna be doing great shit.
We have an otter with the Kubrick face on it, please.
Okay, buddy. Okay. Guys, this has been episode 2 of Too Many Kubricks, a sub-show on our podcast, The Day After Podcast. Join us in 1 week where we're discussing 1956's The Killing, another black and white one before we actually get started. But apparently this is actually the best
could be
of it.
Good. I don't know.
Apparently it's the best one of his black and whites, so he's slowly
he's got a lot of black and whites left.
This is the last one.
No.